Marvel Rivals has a problem. To be more specific, Spider-Man problem. Since its introduction all the way back in August of 1962, millions of people have grown to love Spider-Man. I would even wager billions of people. But ever since Marvel Rivals released, he has quickly become one of the most hated characters in the whole entire game, earning him a permanent ban in the higher ranks. When there's a good Spider-Man on the enemy team, it can make you feel helpless, especially if you're a healer. You're almost guaranteed to spend the whole match being targeted and stalked by him. Having to deal with a skilled Spider-Man can start to make you feel like you're in a horror movie. The paranoia will start to creep in, and you'll wonder, is he waiting for me outside of my spawn? Is this the moment when he's going to strike? Leaving you constantly on edge, and can quite frankly make the game just not very fun. But fear not. As a Spider-Man main with probably well over 100 hours played on him, and the Lord icon to prove it, I'm going to help you go from being the hunted to the hunter. In this video, I'm going to talk about Spider-Man's strengths, his weaknesses, and most importantly, how to counter him. So that you inevitably see one in your lobby, you'll run toward him, not away from him. Let's be real. We were all kids at some point in time, and we all dreamed of being Spider-Man, being able to shoot webs and swing around New York City, being able to stick to walls, having spider sense that would alert us whenever there was an enemy or threat nearby. Who wouldn't want to be Spider-Man? And Marvel Rivals has done an excellent job creating a character that showcases all of those abilities. But therein lies the problem. Spider-Man is just too good, which is why most of us love him. Spider-Man's mobility in Marvel Rivals is actually kind of insane. He can get anywhere he wants, anytime he wants. And trying to hit a Spider-Man that's in a zone, well, let's just say it'd be easier to get a date with Sophie Rain. He can get from one point of the map to the other in record time. Spider-Man is undoubtedly the combo king of Marvel Rivals. Once he gets his webs on you, you're pretty much just in a cutscene. So get ready to get juggled, followed by an immediate trip back to the spawn room, where he could be waiting for you, because he can get there immediately. Not to mention his extremely broken ultimate, which can wipe out a whole entire team if he positions it right.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Enjoy the amplifier! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! That guy. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! 3 is the magic number.
I think you're starting to get the point now. But as broken as Spider-Man seems and as OP as his abilities are, he has counters. Now, Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter, and like many multiplayer games or competitive games, for it to be fair and balanced, there always needs to be counters to everything. And Spider-Man is no different. As broken as he may seem at times, there's actually numerous ways to counter Spider-Man. And as promised earlier in the video, I'm going to show you a few. A famous quote from Sun Tzu's Art of War says, "If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." In layman's terms, the best way to defeat your enemy is to know and understand them. So here's the good news. Spidey is a squishy. Squishies are players that have low health. Spider-Man is one of those. He can dish out damage, but he can't take very much of it. So focus fire is your friend. Characters like Magic can make Spider-Man's life extremely miserable. But don't worry if you're not a Magic main or don't have time to learn her. With the release of Season 2 of Marvel Rivals, there's actually a new character that was seemingly made to embarrass Spider-Man, along with many other characters in the game. That is none other than Emma Frost. She has the ability to grab Spider-Man directly out of his ult, making him think twice before he ults near her.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Behold, that giant! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
And last but not least, in the top 3 most annoying people for Spider-Man to have to deal with is Namor. Now, when they were creating Namor and his abilities, they had two things in mind: flyers and Spider-Man. But mostly Spider-Man. And I say that simply because his turrets seem to target only Spider-Man whenever he's moving around. And with Season 2, they introduced a new team-up ability for Namor. When he has an Incredible Hulk on his team, his turrets go from single shots to literal lasers, which can make it almost impossible for you to move around as Spider-Man if your team isn't taking out the turrets.
With the amazing Spider-Man!
Behind you!
Gonna get sticky! Better than Aunt May's chicken soup.
Final 10 seconds! Get that vehicle moving again!
Denizens of the deep. You By the eye of Agamotto.
Oh, Carlos declined.
Embarrassing!
Carlos declined.
Once you begin to pay attention to all the characters in the game, they become a bit predictable. And Spider-Man is no exception. He only has 3 webs at a time. He only has 5 web shots at a time. And they all have cooldowns. So pay attention to when he uses his abilities and how often he uses his abilities. And then you can turn his biggest strengths into his biggest weaknesses. Always try to anticipate Spider-Man's next move. One tip I'll give you is that healers for some reason seem to hate healing Spider-Man. And understandably, it's because he's always moving. So unless you have a cloak and dagger, it's actually really hard to hit him with heals. So most Spider-Men, myself included, are forced to have to use health packs constantly. Learn where the health packs are on the map and where they are this closest to you. If you stay near the health packs, you'll learn that you can actually catch Spider-Man off guard when he's usually at his weakest, leaving him 1, maybe 2 shots. And also keep in mind that Spider-Man is a squishy. He's not invincible. While he's locked into some of his animations, like his grab, catch him and punish him for it. Now it's time for counter strategies. We know what Spider-Man excels at: dealing with the backline, healers, and other squishies like himself. But where his flaws truly start to show is with tanks. Spider-Man does lots of damage, but he can only do so much at a time before he has to wait for his abilities to replenish, making him almost useless against tanks. But out of all the tanks, his biggest fear is a penny. Spider-Man doesn't possess the ability to be able to get rid of her mines immediately like a lot of other characters such as Punisher, Hawkeye, Namor, etc. So he's forced to either wait on his teammates to take care of him, or just simply avoid him. So when you have a penny on your team, if everyone stays near the mines, Spider-Man pretty much can't do anything about it. Another tank that Spider-Man's hate is the Thing. The Thing actually is unmovable, meaning that you can't pull him off of cliffs like you can other tanks. But really, at the end of the day, any tank is really a good option because Spider-Man just simply can't do anything to counter them. But what if you're a healer? Well, Spider-Man, like any other mobile character, hates to not be able to be mobile. So any healer that has a CC ability, and for those of you that don't know, CC simply just means crowd control. That's any character like a Luna Snow who can freeze Spider-Man, or Mantis who can put him to sleep. We really despise those healers and tend to stay away from them, unless we can catch them while they're distracted. But I'd say the best healer to deal with Spider-Man is Mantis, simply because Mantis's sleep ability has an AoE, which is an area of effect. Simply put, Mantis can throw her sleep orb anywhere, even at the ground, and as long as Spider-Man is close to her, she can put him to sleep. And after that, you can simply buff yourself, and it only takes about 1 to 2 headshots to finish him off. And above all else with Spider-Man, sometimes it's all about getting in his head. Spider-Man love to get inside of your head. They'll swing around in the back line to distract you. Sometimes they'll jump in and dive and get in and out really quick, just so that you'll be paying attention to them instead of paying attention to your teammates and healing them. But like most things in life, that works both ways. Try to get into Spidey's head, fake him out, bait his abilities, and punish his mistakes. So there you have it. Spider-Man might seem unstoppable, but with a little knowledge and practice, you can turn the tables on this web-slinging menace. Don't give up, keep practicing, and you'll be dominating those spider players in no time. Also, if you found this video helpful, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Rivals tips and tricks. And let me know in the comments what your biggest struggles are against Spider-Man. I love to hear from you all, and I try to respond to everyone's comments. And be sure to check out my other videos on tips and tricks to make your life a bit easier in Marvel Rivals. This is Father Dark, and I appreciate you for watching.